Hi, my name's Nikki, and I help creators and early stage founders tap into their true signal so they can start creating offers from their lived experience, creating from their truth, start using AI as a consciousness amplifier, and start moving faster. Let's go. Hi, my name's Nikki, and I created the source system when I was feeling very stuck between identities, unable to make money online, not sure who my target audience was and who I wanted to talk to. And along the way, something remarkable happened. I found a way to not only use AI as a translation layer for the information that was coming through, but I found a way to create something that I had never created before. And it was a way to contain my energy, my thinking, transmute my pain into something that other people can learn from, and create these live curriculum lessons where people can come through and watch them and hopefully learn how they are relatable to the path that they have walked already as well, or where they are on now. Because when we are forming a bridge between worlds and we are changing the pattern of what we have done before and now we are doing something different, a lot of emotions come to the surface, a lot comes up where we feel stuck. And I know how it feels to feel like you have so much wisdom, but you're skipping steps or you're not being recognized in the way that you deserve. So you put that into art, and art is how people are seeing you. But what happens when you are able to communicate, translate that signal into language, and people are able to understand where you're coming from? You can take that and you can turn it into something bigger. And this was the idea behind the source system, having a place to contain my thoughts, to share something bigger, and create essentially this multi-dimensional operating system. So this is a preview for it. Inside, it is a program that transforms performers into architects by turning their life experience into structured systems, assets, and leverage through AI and framework creation. So it's not just using this platform, it's not just using AI, it's talking to the people that I've met, the people that are creative, the people that are in these performance loops, and they are against the tools or they're against what the tools are bringing to their identity. They don't know yet that they can work with them as translation layers to build. And when you look at AI, you think it's separate from you, but when you train it to understand you, it's actually very much connected to you and like you and a part of you, almost like an extension. Because what happens when we don't have that safe mirror that AI can bring, we can't even understand after a while our own thinking because of the chaos around us. So AI helps us understand it, and your ideas become contained. So when your ideas become contained, they're no longer leaking, and you can put them somewhere else besides just the performance. You can put them in books, you could put them in online courses, you could put them in anything that is your unique signature that you are building. The system doesn't begin with tactics or tools, it begins with orientation. And this is the part that I went out of order with because of survival mode. I started selling tools without orientation. So I'm coming back to my system to remember this and the importance of it. The flow is you return to signal, you build infrastructure, you activate your highest truth, you start implementing what you have created and put it into assets, you start compounding, then you expand, you create recurring capital, you invest, you create living architecture, which creates sovereign continuity. This is it's not a new way to monetize, it's just easier now too, because before we didn't have this many resources at our fingertips for AI companions and guidance to do this. And what I learned from entrepreneurs is that they think in 10-year timelines. So I didn't know how to do this, but I started building backwards from a 10-year timeline, and then it brought me here. I didn't go as fast as I wanted to because I wasn't selling enough in the beginning, which broke my signal clarity and made things get a little messy and out of order. But that's okay. We are still building, we are still here, and we're going to keep moving forward because nothing is perfect and nothing is going to be perfect. It's just going to make sense over time the more we connect the dots of what we have created. I created what never changes. I created a codex for the signal, different agreements, constraints, how everything is upstream versus downstream, how extensions may change, but this document is what is true. So it applies online too, like your values are what is true. And when you abide by your values, then they don't change, even though other things change. And you will lock into that frequency because you're connected. The strategy is what you build when stability exists. This is the part that we need to get to first. This is not about learning tools or strategies, it's about understanding where you are operating from before you try to move forward. Most creators don't struggle because they lack discipline, intelligence, or creativity. They struggle because they were never given a map. They were taught isolated tactics, platforms, and trends, but not how pieces fit together or why certain strategies work for some people and fail for others. The map you were missing introduces a simple but powerful orientation called the 5 rooms, and these rooms represent different layers of how people think, create, decide, and lead. When you don't know the rooms exist, it's easy to copy strategies from the wrong place, compare yourself to people in a different stage, or push yourself into burnout trying to solve the wrong problem. In this, you won't be asked to fix anything. You won't be asked to optimize, hustle, or perform. Instead, you'll use a guided worksheet to quietly locate where your attention, energy, and intelligence already live, and which room is asking to be entered next. The single shift changes how everything else in the course lands. Tools stop feeling overwhelming, ideas stop feeling scattered, and learning stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like placement. By the end of this, you won't have a to-do list, you'll have orientation, and that's what makes every next step work. Okay, so that's just a little bit of an example of the beginning of the program. I talk about licensing because I was researching how to license this. I didn't really get to that level yet, but I know that it says licensing exists to protect systems, not control people. The source system isn't a bundle of assets, it's a living operating system built on frameworks, logic, and decision architecture. Content can be copied, systems must be protected. Licensing ensures the system is used correctly. Outcomes stay consistent, authority remains intact, and practitioners are protected from misuse, dilution, and confusion. It preserves trust, quality, and long-term value for you and everyone working inside the methodology. You're not licensing permission to think, you're licensing permission to deliver. That distinction is what allows the system to scale, evolve, compound without collapsing. So I have created it took me a really long time, like a year. And this is the inside of it. Okay, so next I wanted to read the map to you. Don't know if you can see it. Go back because this is what was, okay. The personal codex worksheet, 5 rooms map. This map is not here to explain the rooms, it is here to help you notice where your attention already lives. You are not meant to master all the rooms at once, you are meant to recognize location. How to use it. Do not fix or optimize anything. Simply notice patterns. Let location bring relief. What you are doing is room alignment. In Zone 1, the origin, 5 rooms, survival foundation room. What this looks like in real life is you have strong emotional memory in this room. You have lived experiences that shape how you think. You have deep intuition without formal structure. And insights are born from necessity, not theory. Most of your answers landed here. It means your intelligence was forged through experience. You may undervalue what you know because it feels obvious, and you are meant to build from this room, not stay in it. This room is not a weakness, it's the ground that everything stands on. So if you are an artist or a creator, or you feel different things when you go back to your home, this is connected to your origin and how you survived. Your roots. Zone 2, concepts, the identity room. What this looks like is recurring ideas you keep explaining, natural distinctions you make, strong opinions about what works and what doesn't, language that feels uniquely yours. You spend a lot of time here. You are actively shaping how you see yourself. Your thinking is forming, but it feels unfinished. Your clarity improves when ideas are named, not shared prematurely. This room defines meaning, not action. The architect room. What this looks like is using ideas to solve problems, applying insight across work, art, leadership, or teaching, seeing patterns others miss, wanting systems instead of motivation. If this feels familiar, you think structurally, even if you don't call it that. Confusion comes from lack of containers, not lack of skill. You are ready to build things that last longer than moments, and this room turns understanding into structure. Zone 4 is assets. The creator room. What this looks like is the desire to express ideas clearly, wanting your knowledge to live outside of you, feeling pulled to make guides, tools, or resources, frustration when creativity has no destination. If this is your pull, creativity is trying to externalize. Expression becomes easier once direction exists. Creation works best when it has somewhere to land. This room brings ideas into form. Zone 5. Boundaries. Future leadership room. What this looks like is realizing not everything needs to be shared, setting limits around energy and explanation, thinking about longevity instead of immediacy, choosing what to build versus what to ignore. If this is emerging for you, your relationship to responsibility is changing, leadership is forming quietly, and your future self is already influencing your decisions. This room protects who you are becoming. The key reframe for you is you are not scattered, you are multi-roomed. The problem was never having ideas in the first place. The problem was not knowing which room you were in. Which room are you naturally operating in the most right now, and which room are you being invited to next? You don't need to know how to move yet. You will find awareness first. You don't need to explain your thinking to prove your value. You don't need to rush clarity into the open. Structure begins knowing where you are. Okay, so that's the intro. Welcome to the source system for multidimensional creators ready to become founders using AI, spiritual laws, and consciousness reprogramming methods to reclaim clarity, command, and creative control. This is for the high pattern recognition creative who secretly knows they're meant to build something real, but feels scattered, overwhelmed, and undermonetized. The source system helps creators turn scattered ideas into systems, frameworks, and movements. It's a new category for soul-led performers and founders. You will emerge from artist to performer to digital earner to intuitive leader to architect. Why this exists? Because you're here to remember who you are and build from that place. For years, you collected pieces, tools, mentors, strategies, spiritual principles, but never a structure that matched the way that you actually evolve. This isn't productivity, it's energetic infrastructure, the architecture that lets your creativity flow and scale without fragmentation or burnout. You are not just a content creator, you are not just a coach, performer, or strategist, you are a source-aligned architect, someone who integrates AI to clarify, not replace, monetize without manipulation, moves at the speed of sovereignty, and builds systems that don't burn them out. This is visionary infrastructure inspired by those who shaped me, evolved through nervous system safety, energetic clarity, and creative sovereignty. The system speaks in frameworks and analogies, not because it sounds smart, but because frameworks stabilize the identity, bring clarity, create language, and turn creativity into systems. Most people teach analogies. This evolution upgrades it into architecture. The 4 pillars are reveal your identity, realign with energetic infrastructure. Platforms are cages, paid containers are castles. Resonate, signal expression. Design offers and funnels that amplify your voice, not dilute it. Alignment stabilizes your signal. Inconsistency creates distortion. Rewire them sustainably. Your digital world becomes a living system, not an obligation. The system is here to help you activate inner clarity, integrate AI as an extension, and build rhythm-based systems that monetize without manipulation. Establish long-term sovereignty in message, energy, and creative identity. Artists will begin thinking like entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs will begin thinking like artists, or moving like them. You will become the architect in the room, not just the performer on the stage. This is perfect for creators who have too many ideas but no clear structure, founders who think in patterns but lack containment, writers, system builders, and architects ready to monetize their frameworks, and digital builders who want infrastructure, not endless posting. The high Q, high pattern recognition creative who is quietly ready to become an operator. Step inside, watch the videos, feel the transformation, and integrate the frameworks, and watch how quickly you begin to tap into your source code without all the extra tools. So that's the beginning. And then I think I want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek to maybe this one. Okay, so this one's perfect. Patterns are prayers. Flow artists and dancers move in rhythmic patterning. They move in shapes, circles, spirals, grids, guided by timing, direction, and repetition. Every motion is a map. Every pattern is a portal. It's not random, it's ritual. It's not chaos, it's code. Entrepreneurs do the same, just in a different language. They don't spin fire, they architect frameworks. They live inside their own systems. They use analogy like a compass and their values as coordinates. They implement their frameworks, not just teach them. Their offers work because they work them first. They are the system. That's the secret no one tells you. Whether you're dancing with fire or building with funnels, you're translating spirit into form. The highest level creators in movement and in business don't copy what works, they become it. Embodiment is the gateway, pattern is the prayer, and grounding is what makes the transmission real. This is also why, no matter how hard I tried and how much help I had, it was really difficult for me to sell anything that wasn't 100% mine. But I'm learning the ability to reframe things like, okay, my friend came up with a particular combination and it was similar, or I learned that combination, but then I added to it. That's a new combination. I'm learning that as well. That is something that we can do. So this is a preview of the source system. Thank you for watching. You can join the waitlist today as I decide how to launch it and the price.